Hey guys, welcome back to Deeper Than Most. I'm your host Sav.
And I'm your host DJ.
And we are back with episode 13. And if you haven't noticed, we're blonde-ish, kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah. And then the background is ever-changing.
We have
always
some new
different.
additions.
Yeah. So yeah, we got it on and popping for right now. So, oops. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our current events for today. And we have 3 of them today.
Yeah.
So a good little amount.
This is nice.
Yeah, this first one is really cool. So the first current event is a 10-minute mani. And there's an Israeli startup called Nimble that has recently developed a machine that gives you a manicure in 20 minutes. So 10 minutes on each hand, just quick. Because everybody knows, like, going to get your nails done, even if it's a simple manicure, takes minimum 30 minutes. Minimum. Like, that's, and really, it don't even, it's usually longer than that. It's usually like 45. But, so how it works is it's 10 minutes on each hand, and this includes a finger scan, polish application, and drying. The user,
Nice.
Yeah, it does it all.
Pretty nice.
The user only needs to buy the polish. So you just stock up on your nail polish, and then boom, you can get a manicure whenever you want.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's really cool. But it gets even cooler because the manicure is made possible through AI and 3D image processing technology.
That's kind of scary.
It's kind of scary, but it's more on the cool side because it's literally just pictures. Like, it gets your nail size through the picture and everything. It's all through the picture, the image. But it is scary because once they start scanning our hands and shit, it's all downhill from there.
Well, I mean, it was over when they started scanning our face, but...
Yeah, with Face ID and shit.
Yeah.
They got everybody's face. But, so how does it function? The automatic mani machine can paint and dry the nails on one hand in 10 minutes. The user inserts the hand into the small window on the side of the device. And the device is shaped like a little box.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, so, if you go get your nails done at a salon, when you put your hands in the automatic drying machine and it's like this little box-shaped device and it's just got a little hole and you just slide your hands in. It's pretty much built like that. And it just like dries your hand though. Those are really popular at nail salons. So if you don't know what it looks like that.
I've been to quite a few.
Yeah. So the device is shaped like a box so that way it can scan the hands to identify the nail structure. Once scanned and analyzed, a series of algorithms start to activate. So it's really just a lot of math and science.
Yeah, a lot of math science.
Which is all technology is, but...
It depends.
For the most part, I would say. Then a robotic arm anonymously paints No, it's autonomously paints the nails. And the process goes, it applies the base first, then 2 coats of polish. So not just one. It's going to get the job done right. It does 2 coats of polish. A top coat also gets applied, so you're going to get that clear coat. And then lastly but not least, hot flowing air dries the nails quickly and completely. And this is kind of interesting that it specifies like hot air, because when you do go to the nail salon and you put your hand in that little nail drying slot, it's like cool air. So I wonder if the hot air does anything different. I don't know. Or the certain nail polish, because you can't just buy regular nail polish to use on the machine. So the user picks their nail colors. They insert the nail polish capsules provided by Nimble in the correct compartment, place their hand in the window, and press a button to start. And that's it. And you just sit there and your nails are done.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the only thing is you have to get your nail polish colors from Nimble. And they come in like little packages. It's like a little capsule of cool. Nail polish.
It's actually kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down for that. So, guys, on to our second intro topic. This one is the fact that a brain implant allows a 65-year-old paralyzed man, and I mean completely paralyzed, to write using a chip that they implanted in his brain. Yeah.
That's cool.
We're getting there. So
that's really cool.
Mr. Frank Willett, a research scientist at Stanford University and lead author of the study published like last Wednesday, I believe, in the journal Nature is what it's called. I don't know like the official name, but that's what it's called. He said the research involved a man nicknamed T5 who has been paralyzed from the neck down after a spinal cord injury in 2007.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't really go into detail about his injury, but spinal cord injuries are always pretty nasty.
Yeah, and that was only back in 2007, so it's not like he's been like that his whole life.
Right.
That sucks to, like, I don't know, be enjoying life and living life, and then something traumatic happens to you and leaves you like that. That would piss me off.
He was also fitted with 2 aspirin-sized brain-computer interface, or BCI chips, on the left side of his brain that could detect neurons firing in the motor cortex that governs hand movement.
Oh, wow.
So, in short...
So he has, like, a robotic brain.
Yeah, in short, there's, like, chips detecting, like, what he's thinking, so he can... That would normally help us write, is helping him, like, interpret what he's saying. So, yeah.
That's so cool, yet scary at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
And it says, over time, T5 was able to produce 90 characters, or about 18 words a minute, when copying sentences, and around 74 characters, or 15 words a minute, when replying to questions. Jeez. And that's pretty impressive for
that's a lot.
For like just a simple study about it.
Yeah.
You know? And it says, compared with the maximum 40 characters a minute that point-and-click systems can produce, the machine actually does a pretty decent job.
That's crazy. To go from nothing, like... Because you're paralyzed.
To
go from nothing to that is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And it works.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part, is it actually works.
It says the sentences were flawless, with a mistake in about 1 in every 18 characters when copying, and 1 in every 11 characters when replying to questions. And the coolest thing about this whole entire study is the fact that the scientist and his team even said, this type of technology could be ready for us within the next couple of years.
Right, be normal and regular.
Not just the next couple of decades. So like,
whoa, so this is like soon. Especially, well, I could see how though when it was so successful.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. It's the right move.
Think about when like 3D printing became such a big thing. Like they even use that.
And you notice nobody really talks about that anymore.
Yeah, they don't. But it's been such a miracle because they've used it to print out livers for people, like print out organs and stuff. So which
is crazy.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
And they
to
work.
Think about.
It's the craziest part. Like they work.
That's wild. So on to our last intro topic.
And just a little bit about this intro, the intro topic that you're about to read. Mm-hmm. The reason it's so interesting is because that research that he's done, nobody's ever like talked about it or heard about it because everybody
What else, I'm about to read?
Yeah, what you're about to read. Everyone else is taking credit for it. So it's pretty interesting.
Oh, so another one of those stories where a black creator gets their content stolen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got you. But before it was ever a thing.
Yep.
Got you. So Benjamin Manicure, a free black man born in 1731, was best known for a land survey that established the original borders of Washington, D.C. What? That's cool. That
part in its own is
like that's cool as fuck. Because I don't know, like what? I would have never guessed. Yeah, no. But the naturalist also broke ground in another field, cicada research.
And everybody knows what cicadas are. Everybody.
Those nasty big old bugs
I hate them, bro.
In the South that I hate.
Yeah, they comes around every
They don't do anything, but they're just ugly and scary.
And
they're loud as hell. So Banneker first observed the cicadas at his Maryland home as a teenager in the 1740s. He spent the next 50 years documenting their unique life cycles. The bugs come out of the ground for only a few weeks every 17 years. I didn't know it was only...
they
what?
Yeah.
But how come they're out every year? Is it different sets of cicadas?
More than likely, yeah.
That's the only thing that would make sense to me.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because I'd be hearing, I would hear them.
Because you hear them every year, yeah.
I don't get the fuck.
His observations were amongst the earliest known to be documented. Wow. Mm. And somebody else stole the credit for that?
Yep. Nobody ever talked about it.
How did he find that out, though?
It's weird. How do people find out a lot of things?
Well, he did spend 50 years.
Yeah.
But that's wild.
That's hell.
Wow.
Ooh.
So
I'm kind of excited for this one, though.
Yes.
And my thing is, I don't even like mermaids and sirens.
I love mermaids and sirens,
I mean,
and that's what we're jumping into today, and it's gonna be fun. And if you can't tell, if you're watching this on YouTube, my makeup is mermaid inspired. I would have done siren inspired because sirens are the shit, but I didn't know like what to do like that would represent a siren. So I thought mermaid colors would do justice.
I mean,
and you're kind of rocking some mermaid colors too.
Yeah, H2O.
Merman, okay. Merman D.
Just to let y'all know, Aquaman sucks.
I haven't even seen the movie.
Fuck the movie. The character sucks.
Oof. Okay, so you can go ahead and start.
So, history and facts of mermaids. The name mermaid comes from the origin mer, which means sea. Oh, cool. Look at you.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. Mermaids.
And then maid, obviously, is a woman.
Right.
So, sea woman.
Sea woman. Mermaids are described as legendary aquatic creatures who keep their distance but are known to rescue sailors in peril. Now that is actually pretty interesting because I never I always heard about mermaids, but
you never knew what their purpose.
Yeah, what their purpose was. Like,
what's your purpose?
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really know either. Upon research, I found out though, and I was like, this makes a lot of sense, and you'll see why.
Yeah.
It just makes a lot of sense as to why mermaids would be kind of like the rescuers. And also, if you think about it, in The Little Mermaid, what does Ariel do? She saves Eric.
Yeah. Huh. I never put that together as a kid. I
didn't think about it either, but it makes sense now knowing that that's what they do is, they save people.
Yeah. They are composed of a human upper body half and a fishtail for the lower half. And honestly,
it's so weird to think about. Like, how would they reproduce and how do they go pee?
That's a lot of people's big question.
Yeah,
but I guess
how would it work?
I guess they would pee just like a fish does. Or
well, see, I was watching this video, right? And it was about how mermaids couldn't exist. And in the video, they were talking about how human organs and our digestive system it's completely different than that of a fish.
Right.
And so to try to put two and two together would just not work scientifically.
Yeah.
Just in nature, it wouldn't work at all.
But,
and especially even the way that we use the bathroom is different.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like I always tell people,
breathe.
Everything is not meant for us to understand, though. So even if they did exist and we can't comprehend it,
that's the beauty of it. That's the magic of it.
That's not saying that they can't exist.
Exactly.
So mermaids are present in many different folklore tellings in all cultures, including Europe, Africa, and Asia.
Yeah, so it's all throughout the world.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting because that's the case with a lot of different mythical creatures.
But the thing about it is do you think it's that way for a reason, or do you think that every culture just wanted their own telling, their own version? I think it's because maybe some of this shit was real back in the day, and it was just all over and not just in a certain continent. It wasn't just in Europe; it was all around.
It was one of them things where it was a lot more prevalent during that time. Yeah. So you've seen it, you wrote stories about it because.
And I feel like people were more
and of course people
believing back then.
People shared their stories. Yeah. And then how can you prove them wrong?
Exactly. Yeah, especially back then. Nowadays, yes, you can debunk everything.
Even then, you don't even know if you're right then.
Yeah.
So the first mentioning of merfolk was dated back to 1000 BC. Merfolk?
Long time ago. Yeah, that's what they're called.
Oh, cool.
So pertaining to mermen and mermaids, merfolk.
Male mermaids exist too. They are actually called mermen.
Yes.
Hence, yeah.
And the thing about it is, though, a lot of times mermaids or merfolk are portrayed as there's typically far more mermaids than there are mermen. There's only a couple mermen typically, and then it's a shit ton of mermaids.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. So the ratio is off.
How are mermaids? You know what? That's a lot.
Couldn't do it.
It's strongly believed that mermaids reside in the South Atlantic and South Pacific and Indian Oceans.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because
all big bodies of water.
Right.
Yeah.
Mermaids are also depicted as beautiful women with long, thick hair, which is kind of funny because, when you compare a mermaid to a siren, it's a different depiction.
Yes, and we'll get into that too because it's quite different. And I actually learned a couple things about sirens while doing this research that I didn't know, and it makes me like sirens even more because they're so cool. But go ahead, continue.
Although the Little Mermaid is the ideal fantasy version of these beings, sometimes they are described as monstrous and ugly.
Yeah, which I would have never thought. because they're never talked about as ugly.
But I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, you know, especially with like shit that we grew up with, like Disney and like even, like,
they
the Greek
romanticize
even the
everything.
Greek stories. Yeah.
So what if they were real? And then we're gonna also continue into some more facts. If mermaids were real, they would likely live in the deep bottom of the open ocean, obviously.
So like in the abyss of the ocean, basically.
Where they can thrive.
Did we
you know?
even introduce him to the podcast?
Oh, I don't know if we did, guys. So we got a little brother, a little friend for Harlow.
This is Garfield.
Yeah, he literally acts like Garfield the cat. But his name is Oliver from Oliver and Company, the Disney movie. If you haven't seen it, it's about an orange cat who is a stray cat that resides in New York, and he gets brought in by a group of stray dogs. But yeah, that's Oliver. And then
Look at him, bro. He just wants to get out.
And we've got the beautiful Harlow. He's getting big, guys.
He's getting pretty big on us.
He's growing.
He don't like to be around us too much these days.
Yeah, he want to play.
Not up there, son.
All right. So the government would be conducting extensive science experiments and exploring newfound discoveries. And like Siren, we watched the show called Siren on Freeform, but we watch it on Hulu. If you haven't seen it, I recommend. It's a Freeform show, so I'll leave it at that.
She told me that same thing, and I watched it, and I actually...
It has to grow on you. It's one of those shows. It's not the best production, but the content is something that's not done a lot, and that's what I like.
It's pretty unique in its creativity.
Yes. But in that show, you see that they are doing experiments on these sirens.
Which, I mean, honestly, it makes sense, though, because, like...
Yeah, of course, we do science and experiments on everything. But the government would definitely be heavily involved with something like that.
Mm-hmm. Like everything else.
Yeah. So they can also swim between 6 to 10 miles per hour, which, honestly, I mean, I guess that's fast, but not really.
Yeah, it's not like super fast.
Like compared to other aquatic animals or aquatic creatures, like that's not like super fast. But then again, they're the humans of the sea. Yeah.
So what the hell would they be trying to swim super fast for? Where are they?
Well, the thing is, they don't need to swim as fast because they, like, in the ocean, they would be technically the apex predator. Well, not them. Sirens would be the apex, but so they often use weapons. You know how they're always portrayed with, like, tritons and stuff? So the government probably wouldn't hide them, but instead capitalize off of them, which, they capitalize off of everything.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Back in the 1840s, have you heard of Barnum and Bailey? It's like a circus act. It's like a traveling circus. My dad took me when I was younger, and it's really cool, but...
Yeah, I can't say I've heard of that before.
Well, I didn't know that they were a part of this, but Barnum and Bailey, which is a traveling attraction duo, created...
Now that you say that, and now that I see this next part that you're about to read, I have heard of them.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they created a hoax that would create endless buzz around New York. And this hoax was the Fiji mermaid. And everybody thought that it was a real mermaid. It looks kind of like a real mermaid, and we'll insert a picture right here. It looks like a real mermaid, but it's not. It's just a dried up monkey sewn to a fishtail.
Why is dried up though? Why would you dry up? What?
I guess to make the features look less monkey-like.
Okay.
To look like a dried up human almost.
Yeah.
Because think about it, monkeys look similar to humans. And if it's a sea creature, a sea human, like who knows, nobody knows what it would look like.
Can't, like
so you could easily just say,
it's one of those things you can't disprove. Like, how do you know?
Exactly. So there have also been stories of merfolk who live in lakes and rivers as well. And I didn't know that.
Oh my God, really?
Babe, why are you talking to me like that? Stop. Go.
Mermaid sightings and theories. Oh, fun theories. We love those.
Yeah, we love theories. They're the best.
Right. Usually spotted by pirates or sailors, the belief is that they were mistaking manatees for mermaids. Oh, wow.
And this is actually... A lot of people know about this, too. It's just a really popular thing, even nowadays. So
Christopher... Country Stealer, Columbus, was
you was right the first time.
Was the first to ever document seeing one. Of course he was.
The first to do every damn thing. How convenient.
He notes The mermaid wasn't as pretty as the legends, and it looked kind of masculine, likely as a dugong. Well, it likely was a dugong.
Yeah, and I don't know what a dugong is.
I think that's some type of fucking. I think it's a type of fish. Maybe
a fish. I think it's something that's related to a manatee or a seal.
Yeah,
I think. I think it's like
sea creature.
Well, yeah, but I think it's like in the Asian Pacific area.
Sweet.
I think that's. I don't know. We'll insert a picture.
John Smith of Jamestown said the mermaid he spotted was graceful and in no way ugly.
Yeah. And I wonder if this is the same John Smith from like Jamestown Massacre. I don't know.
We'll have to look into it.
I mean, it is it's an old John Smith, so this is like way back in the day. Yep. So it might have been.
Wow. Edward Teach was an English pirate who sailed the West Indies. He was widely known by the name Blackbeard. Oh, we got to get into Blackbeard. I love Blackbeard. Yeah. He was a huge man who was considered the most dangerous pirate on the sea. It is said in a logbook he steered clear of certain areas where he believed merfolk resided.
So yeah, he was all big and macho, but when it came down to them sirens, he said, "Nah, we gotta go.
This ain't it, out of here, bro. This ain't
These mermaids don't kind of play." But see, the thing about it is though, mermaids are, depicted as nice. So the fact that he was trying to steer clear of them has me thinking that they were something other than mermaids.
I mean, it's also one of those things like people fear the unknown. So like if you were to see,
I mean, yeah, but the fact that he knew what they were and where they lived has me thinking that what he ran into was probably sirens and not mermaids.
Yeah.
For him to be scared of them. And you'll see why.
Blackbeard is considered,
Yeah, exactly. So for the most badass pirate to be scared of certain areas, there's a reason.
We ain't going over it.
Yeah, there's a reason. So now we're going to go ahead and take the time to thank our wonderful sponsors, and we will get right back to you. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free and it's easy to use.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone or computer, making it the best user experience around.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, making it so you don't have to upload to each individual platform.
And the best thing about it, you can make money straight from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So please, download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. And that's Anchor.fm, spelled ANCHOR.FM.
So what are you doing? Download the free Anchor app now. And we are back. And we're going to jump into my favorite, personally, sirens. What's funny?
Awkward pause.
So we're going to go ahead and dive into the history and facts of sirens first. The name siren is translated the name siren is a translation for mermaid in many different languages, and I didn't know that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's also its own separate thing. So although it is another word for mermaids, the two differ in many ways. Still half human, half fish, sirens are considered a different type of mermaid. So they're kind of like the evil cousin or something,
I can fuck with that.
Sirens are born predators and are often depicted, if depicted, as bad guys. Because, think about it. How many shows or movies have you seen where sirens are actually brought up or shown?
I kind of figured they were
besides Siren.
kind of figured they would be bad guys, considering how even like reading old Greek folklore, you have Odysseus and his men, and they were tying him to the boat because whoopty wop, and sirens, and so that was how I figured they were just bad guys all around. But it's kind of unfair.
I know, but I'm talking about within movies and shows. Like, when have you ever seen? Exactly. Like, you don't. So legends say, and I think it's because mermaids are like the hype. It's the positive side. It's the good guys. So everybody likes the good guys.
It's just because of Disney, honestly.
It is, yeah. Because has Disney ever made a siren movie?
Right.
No. So legends say that sirens lure sailors to their deaths, and we all know this. That's what they're That's literally what they're known for.
Yeah, that's their MO.
Yeah, so sirens are typically described as terrifying with spikes, sharp teeth, webbed hands, and fierce eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And the perfect way to like see this or envision this, we'll insert a picture of like the cover art for the show Siren that we watch, and they have it spot on. Like if you see Rin in her siren form, she has sharp teeth, she has spikes on her tail, she has webbed hands, and she has fierce eyes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. They did their research on that show. Y'all just gotta watch the show and let us know what you think.
But on the contrary, sirens are thought to be breathtakingly beautiful and seductive, which, again, it brings us back to that story I just brought up a second ago.
It can go both ways. So, but I feel like, and I didn't read this anywhere, but I feel like when you first encounter a siren, this is how you would see them in their beautiful and seductive state. And then once they start singing to you...
Kind of like the succubus of the sea.
Almost, yes. So then when they start singing to you, they take their true form and
just
come out with
there. Not only do sirens lure sailors to their death, it has also been said that they kill in many other ways, including drowning sailors at the bottom of the ocean, crashing a ship or boat into rocks, killing all aboard, and sirens that straight up eat men.
Crazy, isn't it?
Wild.
And with crashing the ship or the boat into the rocks, typically when they lure the sailors to their death, that is what that would mean. So they would basically take control of the ship.
Because they're using
by mind control of the person that's steering the ship.
Right.
And then straight up eating men, that just reminds me of Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, just out here.
But like in the water.
Yeah.
And I love Jennifer's Body. Ooh, that's a good movie.
If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Yeah. It's got wow. What's her name? Wow. It's got Megan Fox in it. So, facts continued. Sirens are infamous because of their beckoning song, the Siren Song. In Homer's Odyssey, sirens lived on an island and would sing a harmonious, hypnotizing melody. Sailors would become entranced and led to a harrowing death. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Just your classic, basic siren story.
Sounds about right.
And I feel like everybody knows about Homer's Odyssey. I remember learning about that in school.
Yeah, I would assume they know, because we did read that in Lit.
Yes, exactly. Like in high school.
Yeah, but not everybody, cares.
Well, they probably learn about it in middle school now.
Yeah, by now. Huh.
Yeah, because, as time goes by, you learn more quicker, at a younger age.
Different shit.
Because you have to be able to keep up with the times. Oof. I would hate to be in high school now.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna know shit. How we gonna help?
Right. So, in some Greek art pieces, sirens had a bird body. What?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, they had a bird body with a woman's head. It looks really cool.
That's gonna be gnarly to look at.
Yeah, and so they do exist in Greek mythology, but like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so sirens do exist.
Bird body?
But theirs is different.
Bird body.
But it makes sense, though. Think about it. Birds sing.
I mean, it does make sense.
So Greek mythology just got it. Spot on with everything.
It makes perfect sense, but that's a scary visual.
No, it's actually the picture that I'm going to put up. It looks really cool. The one picture that I did find. So what if sirens were real? As like mermaids, sirens have emotions. And we didn't cover this before, but mermaids have emotions similar to humans. And so, as mermaids, sirens have emotions and can make right and wrong decisions, but they prefer to make the wrong decision. Hence the bad guy.
Ethics.
Yeah, they just don't give a damn, pretty much. If sirens were living amongst us, many disappearances or deaths would occur on the water, or maybe off the water. Shit.
Wow.
And they would either be unexplained, or if humanity was aware of their existence, this could cause a war between man and mer.
That would be a hell of a sight.
That would be crazy, and I feel like we would lose.
Oh, yeah, we definitely lose.
Well, it depends. If it was I don't know.
No.
Because it depends on if they can...
It depends on
come to the land for some reason. If they can come to the land, we're done for, because they're just as strong on land as they would be in the water. If
that's the case, they're amphibious.
Right. But if they could only survive in the water, then we would win that war, because all you got to do is contaminate the water. But if we do, we're playing ourselves, because we'd be killing everything else in that motherfucker.
Are we really winning, though?
Damn. So yeah, they would win. They'd have us. That's it. It would be the end. In that same breath, though, sirens would very likely be utilized in many, in many world wars. So against other countries,
in a sense, we probably wouldn't even need the Navy.
And that would make you wouldn't but that would make sense though.
Yeah,
that would be the best, like the strongest man you could have,
right?
Or woman,
or what, mostly.
To fight with a creature? That's not fair.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Just imagine, like, okay, fuck it.
All right, bring the boys. We got the guns.
And then,
bro,
motherfuckers
grab the merfolk.
Yeah, motherfuckers is going down, getting ready,
need.
getting their guns and shit. And then all of a sudden, these niggas look over and here they go swimming and shit.
A whole school of the niggas.
These niggas brought fucking mermaids to the war.
I swear to God, they got the swordfish riding with them.
Right. Aquaman in the distance. Mer folklore. This folklore is prominent all throughout the world, so this is going to be fun. Selkies, similar to mermaids, except they were shapeshifters who changed from seals to humans, and they are typically found in, I don't know if I ever
Celtic.
read this right. Is it Celtic or Celtic?
It's Celtic.
Celtic?
Yeah, I learned this recently. I always say Celtic, but Celtic is the Celtics.
Because I always thought it was the
and then Celtic is like Irish.
Yeah, because
like,
I always thought it was Celtic, but I've heard so many people like say Celtic, so I got confused at one point.
I thought it was Celtic, so I always said Celtic. So you probably heard me say it a couple times, but it's Celtic.
Yeah, it's in Celtic and Norse myth, which sounds about right.
Yes. We also have another type of merfolk, and this is Finnfolk, and I like that name.
Yeah,
Finnfolk.
I like it.
Hey, where you from? Finnfolk.
And that's funny because the place that it's in makes sense. It makes sense that they call them that.
Yeah. So Finnfolk are also shapeshifters, just like the Selkies, except instead of like merfolk, they're all mermaids, or they're all women, pretty much.
Cool. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and this is from a Scotland legend.
And the next one we have are Pincoya or Pincoy.
No, Pincoya and Pincoy.
Oh, Pincoya and Pincoy. Oh, cool. Pincoya was a female water spirit. Her husband was Pincoy. Okay, Pincoya represents fertility and is shown as a naked woman, and she's the daughter of Sea King Milaloba. Am I saying that right?
I think you're saying it right.
Pincoy, who was her husband, is a handsome merman resembling a lionfish.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what he looked like. I'm going to see if I can try to find a picture.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I can only imagine what he would look like, but lionfish are cool on their own.
Right.
So.
And they're from Chiloan myth.
And I don't know what Chiloan is. Do you? Is that Native American?
Either. I don't know.
It sounds like it could be Native American, but we will put up the definition of Chiloan because we are unsure. The last one is siege. Is that how you would say it?
Yeah.
It's Ceasg.
Mm-hmm.
Siege. So siege is known to be very pretty with a salmon tail. She resides in the sea, but is known to frequent streams or rivers. Another place she can thrive. Legend says those who can capture her will be granted 3 wishes.
Oh shit!
And this is from Scottish folklore as well.
Their lives for 3 wishes.
But think about it, it's like a genie.
Yeah.
But like a genie in the sea.
Yeah, risking their life for 3 fucking wishes.
I mean, are you really risking your life though? Not in a stream.
I mean, niggas.
How could she fit in a stream though? Streams are small.
She might be shrinking.
Let me find out. They're the size of seahorses or something.
What? That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. No, and then you catch her, and then she just like blows up, and she's like this fucking
like a genie in a bottle, literally, because they're small, and then they come out and they're fucking larger than life.
An actual genie, or what they're actually known as, or jinn or whatever.
Yeah,
and
we should cover. Yeah, we should cover that one day.
Thing.
That'd be fun. So that is all that we have for you guys. It's about that time to jump into those ending questions, because we always got them. We want to know your guys' thoughts. Comment them down below. Send in audio comments. Do whatever you want to do, but we just want to hear your thoughts. Yeah, definitely. And the questions that we ask at the end, the ending questions, are always open for you guys to answer. We want to know your guys' thoughts, and we just like to answer them in the episode so that way you know our thoughts.
Straight up. The first question is a pretty interesting one. It says, do you think mermaids lay eggs or internally fertilize? So, yeah, I'm going to say they lay eggs.
I would think so too. And I say this because how would you give birth? Unless
they do the whole...
they do it like a dolphin, and they have a slit, and it just like... opens up a little bit and then it just shoots out.
Or unless, no, I don't think that would work either. Because I would say unless like, what's the one? I think it's a seahorse where like the male.
But they still have a tail.
I mean, yeah, but
so how would it work?
Still eggs, I guess. I don't know. Because that's how seahorses do.
Either way, it would be eggs or internal. Yeah. And I think it would be eggs. Whether it's merman or mermaids.
Yeah, it's just eggs all the way.
It just makes the most sense. And then think about it. They have little mermaid eggs. And they just all shoot out. And then it's like little tiny mermaids.
Niggas racing up and down the street. Y'all, yeah.
Every time we get ready to film, some stuff be happening. So, sorry. The second question is, do you think merfolk could live in the lost city of Atlantis? And honestly, I think that they would. Like, why not? It's a whole city. I want to cover Atlantis, too. We should.
Fuck Atlantis. Nah, I'm down for it. Honestly, in terms of merfolk living in Atlantis, it's such a cliche thing, but I can't disagree with it.
I mean, but it would make sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't disagree with it. I would
or even on the Titanic, things that sink. Like, I feel like why wouldn't they inhabit? Well, that's the thing. They would just live in the depths of the on the ocean floor, like the deep ocean floor. But like at the same time, like it's just the floor. So I think it would make sense if
ain't no telling what the fuck is down there though. That's
I don't think I want to know.
Yeah, and the thing is, whenever we try to go down there, we only get so far.
We've
only found a kraken. We've only found other little and an anglerfish and a couple.
Oh, speaking of an anglerfish, so apparently in California, like this past week, one of them washed up on shore. Like a dead anglerfish. And it was like a female, and I'll insert a picture, but it looks really weird. Yeah, it's super ugly. It's like dark.
And I hate to say that.
And it's just weird
stuff,
looking.
Like,
it looks like
ugly.
It looks like a piece of boba. With teeth.
Bro, shut up.
Oh shit, I love boba. But anyways, so go ahead.
It's all you, dude.
Oh. No, I said the Atlantis one.
Oh, is it? Oh. Which do you like? Which do you like more, mermaids or sirens?
I think you know my answer.
If I had to pick, though, I'd pick sirens. They're just badass. Yeah, I like sirens because they're badass. Mermaids are pussies.
I like sirens because they're badass. And they're just cool. They're like the feisty versions of mermaids. And I don't know, upon doing research and like figuring out that they kill people in other ways too, like they just straight up eat men, I'm all for it. So last one is, do you believe that they exist? And this is all merfolk.
I mean,
so sirens or mermaids.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I think that I could believe that they exist, but after reading that one little thing about how they just couldn't exist in all the scientific ways that they couldn't, I was like, damn. But you gotta keep the magic alive. So they could exist and we just don't know about them yet
like I said, I mean, you can't, just because you physically can't prove something exists doesn't mean it exists. There's so many
doesn't mean it doesn't exist?
Yeah, there's so many different things around us, like there's a spirit world that exists and we can't see that, but it's there. That's all around us. Let's not get any deeper than that because I'm gonna piss some people off if I keep going with that. But
that's what we do. We get deeper than most.
Yeah.
So that is all that we have for you guys today. We hope that you enjoyed this double upload this week. We did drop an audio exclusive. We're starting audio exclusive episodes where see, we ran into this thing last week where we were gonna film like Sacred Lost Text, and we sat down and we did it, but it was very short because there wasn't a lot of information on the text that we did, so it was like 20 minutes long. And we try to strive to make our podcast episodes longer, like at least above 30 minutes.
We like to give you guys a good bit of content out here.
Yeah, just to be able to sit back and enjoy, like, roll up, do what you want to do, like take a sip, do what you want to do while you listen to our podcast or watch it. Yeah. But it was too short, so we figured we would start short stuff, and that is where we do record episodes for you guys, but they end up being too short. But we'll still upload the audio, so that way you still get the content. And it's kind of like a bonus because it's only audio. We won't do video. Yeah. So, that is all the updates that we have. That's all the information that we have. And this one was really fun. It was a good one. And next week is going to be pretty fun, too. Next week we're doing John Benet Ramsey. We're doing another FNC.
Fine.
Yes, so it's obviously a case that's well known. But we're going to share our thoughts on the case. And look at it through a different lens. So, you want to end it out?
Actually, I have another question.
Go ahead.
So, in terms of all these mythical creatures, out of all the ones that you personally know, which one do you think would be cooler to cover?
Like another mythical creature to cover?
Yeah.
I would say like fairies would be really cool.
That would be kind of cool, though.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. That'd be cool as hell.
Come here.
That would be real cool, actually. Hey, ow. We might have to get on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, so if you guys want to see us talk about fairies or any other, like, mythological creature, just let us know, and we can do that for you. So,
guys, this has been Deeper Than Most. I'm your host, DJ.
And I'm your host, Sav.
Tune in with us next week.
To another episode of Deeper Than Most.